I couldn't even give you the advice because I cannot approve of the relationship itself.
Brother, you can 100% give me advice.
Although I can respect this young lady.
Peace to all my guys. Peace to all my herbs, my goddesses, all righteous families. This is the man, MD Kane, is known as MarcoJah. I want to welcome y'all to the second chamber. And hey, we're going to just get straight into it. The last video I made was, can a conscious black man have a white friend? But I wanted to, I had to split it up in part one and part two because video was long as well. But I wanted to get into this topic as well, man. You know, I got some interesting topics for y'all that's coming as well, man. I've been on my grind, being consistent with these videos. I want to thank y'all for the support, the people that are looking, listening. But this title of this video is called "Can a Conscious Black Man Be in a Relationship with a white girl?" And let's get into it. Get something to drink right quick. Now I want to tell y'all, I told y'all in the last video that, hey, we're gonna get into this later, but I'll say in the past and as well my last relationship, I was with a white girl. Basically, I met her during a real hard time in my life. And I was going through a lot of legal problems, and as well, I still had my old job back then. And I met her at work, man. Usually, you know, that's where a lot of people meet their partners at. But I met her at work, and it started off, you know, with me always seeing her, because we'd be one of the few people who smoke outside. So we always, you know, while we're smoking, we used to smoke my little Black and Mild. You know, she used to smoke her cigarettes or her vape or what she had. You know, we was talking, kind of vibing, and then it turned into, you know, a little flirting. And one day she just gave me a note and said, "Hey, call me." And that was it. And after that, we started talking and whatever. Made long story short, and I told her off the rip and off the jump who I was. I told her, you know, hey, I'm a 5%er. I really don't date white women like that. I really don't date white women and like that. And, you know, I really, I don't hate white people or anything like that, but, or I don't consider myself a racist, but I told her, hey, this is how I feel about white people and the beliefs and what we, and she said she was a little familiar. She said she was more familiar with the Moorish Science Temple. And after maybe when I told her that, and after maybe like a week of dating or whatever, she just said, hey, you know, she said, you know, Marcus, you know, I can't help that I'm white. And she just basically, you know, told me to give her a chance. And at that time, man, I was going through hard times. It was some lonely nights. I just missed the company of a woman, the touch of a woman as well. And I decided to give her a chance. I say before I met her, you know, when I first got into the 5%, like, man, like, I had a very vitriol for white people. You know, when you really get into the lessons and and then as well, just look through history and see and just see the evils and horrors of what white people have done and still is doing. It made me have resentment and anger towards the white man. I'm not gonna lie, and that happens a lot when you first get into the teachings. But you know, you gotta learn not to have that. To just see white people for who they are, and then understand too that not all white people are bad people. But in the 5% nation, and for more white people that might be watching, well, you know, the 5%, we don't necessarily hate white people or anything. We see white people for who they are, who they have been for the past history, and we see white people of having a savage nature, but they can turn away from it. So that's, you know, and she knew that, and I told her what I was about, my situation and everything. Everything happened pretty fast. We was probably maybe 2 weeks of dating. We had sex. You know, things went fast. Start having sex, and then maybe 4 months of knowing her, she convinced me to live with her, which I was hesitant to, but I was just going through a rough time and in between different places that I fell into it. And you know when you first get with a woman, you know, they start doing and saying the right things that when you first get with them. They do things for you. They do the freakiest things in the bedroom for you. So I got hooked. I got attached, and I'm not gonna lie. You know, Shawty, she wasn't perfect, but she won me over. She had a promiscuous past and a drug addict history, which I do myself, but I decided to give her a chance, even though she was white and whatever, and she wound up winning me over. I'm not gonna lie, but the relationship, it ended. We was together for 11 months. The relationship, it was beautiful. It was nice at first, but it ended really bad with her, abusing drugs, abusing pills. She was talking to this one guy, some racist white guy. The whole basically 80%, 85% of the relationship, and playing both sides and things like that. The things just didn't really work out. It was just issues with money and finance, and on my part, my drinking wasn't all that really too good. I wasn't abusing drugs, but my drinking wasn't all that good, and we had disagreements about money and things like that. And she just brought a lot of baggage and a lot of drama, and especially with her sister being in a domestic violent relationship and having it come in our relationship, and me catching her numerous times talking to that guy, that racist white guy that she used to sleep with. So I would just say I don't want to really go into the story. That's maybe a summary of what happened. I'm not really trying to tell this story with hatred and vitriol against her. But the relationship ended really bad, and to this day we are enemies, man, lifelong enemies. So it ended really, really bad. She wound up throwing me out, and like I said in my other video, she wound up taking sides of that racist white guy that she was quote unquote friends with, and I ended up being homeless, and right now I'm still homeless, and all this was like a year and 9 months ago. But the things I want to say, man, the things that I went through. Now, to answer the question, can a conscious black man be with a white girl? I will give you the answer, especially my brothers who are conscious, who are in the 5% or just conscious. I would say a hell no. The reason, just based off my experiences and based with, off the other experiences I heard other brothers had, but I'll say while I was in a relationship with this white girl, because she's, disrespectful to everything and everybody. She's a pathological liar, a manipulative drug addict. I don't know if she is now. To me, I just feel like she has become even a more worse human being. But I'll say my views, my beliefs, were constantly questioned, disrespected. She said, "Hey, saying that the black man is God is racist." When I explained to her that, hey, I don't agree with it. It's just a saying to tell the truth about black people and who they are, and to raise black people's self-esteem. It was a lot of disagreements just when it came to politics, and she was a Trump-loving white woman, and it's like I couldn't really be myself. It's like I wasn't allowed to be proud of being black, of who I am. It wasn't really my religion that was disrespected. It was my spirituality and my beliefs of the 5%. And just being with this white woman, she had prejudice and racist friends. Not a lot, but enough of them. I was at times, or a good amount of times, enough of times, called a nigger. But at the same time, I said some, racial inflammatory things as well to her. But she just always would ask me, why do I talk about race? Why I'm concerned about race? Why I'm always concerned about black people? And I just told her that it was my passion, and it was just something that she couldn't understand. This is my life work. This is something that I take serious as a heart attack. So, when you're with a white woman and you're a conscious black man, they're not going to understand or try to understand your plight, your mission, your lifelong duty. That they're not. It's like they try to. I'll say a lot of brothers, say they've been in a relationship with a white girl, that they try to make you forget who you are, and they always try to get you to favor the white family over the black family. I don't now. A lot of brothers who date white women say that white women are better and all this, but I didn't really find a big difference of dating a white woman and a black woman. My second to last ex was black, but only maybe difference was maybe the sex. I'll say maybe white women are a little more submissive in bed, a little freakier, a little nastier, but that was it. The white girl I was with, she was off the chain. She was ratchet. She was off the chain. That stereotype that white women are more agreeable and well behaved, and to me, I thought dating a white woman, the white woman I was with, she was just sneaky. You know, she was sneaky. She was controlling. She was selfish, fake, phony. That's why I'm like, y'all brothers, look out, man, because you know, if you ever see the show Snap, where you know wives are killing their husbands, it be 90% of them be white women. But now, I'm not gonna blame all white women for my experience because I mean, me personally, I believe she was a low tier white woman. I'm sure, hey, some good white women out there in this world. Now, if you're a black man and you're not conscious, I believe, hey, you know, it could work out for you. But if you're a conscious black man and you have a duty to your people and you set an example for other people as being a conscious black man, it doesn't, it's just not gonna, people are not gonna respect what you have to say or respect who you are. If you're saying you're a conscious black man and you have a white woman as your wife or as a girlfriend, people are not gonna take you as serious. It's a bitch, you know, but it's just like that. Not to say, hey, it's a couple black people who done good things and fought for black people and had white wives. And I'm not to say, hey, you know, I would never listen to anything they have to say, but I wouldn't really follow their example or take them as serious, especially compared to someone who has a black family. Now, I've never been against interracial relationships. Me personally, I at times date interracially, but I'll just say for me, man, I just can't date a white. It's just not for me. I just can't date a white woman. I was hesitant to do it at first when I dated a white woman, and I see, you know, that it caused problems. It wasn't the fact that she was white that it caused problems. It was just like, man, sometimes I had to hold back of who I was and what I believed, and she, you know, shamed and disrespected my beliefs and my passion and my life duty, you know. So it's something that she didn't understand. A lot of just white people just don't have any care or concern for the plight of black people. They don't think at all we should get reparations. They don't care when we get 100 years for for crimes we shouldn't get convicted of. And Dr. Umar Johnson, I want to say too, before I get off, had a very interesting point where the reason why black men in general shouldn't date white women is because when that black man dies, all the money that he has made and his legacy will go to a white woman, and she's not going to use that money to help, to look out for black people. She's going to use it for her white counterparts. But I think my situation is it was very ratchet. It was very ghetto. I would say she was a low tier white woman, which a lot of black men get. You know, a lot of black men, you know, that I see that are with white women, they're low tier, very low tier. They're white women that white men don't want, or you know. But I 100% agree with Dr. Umar, and even agree with him even before I dated the white girl. But I decided to give her a chance and lower my standards, because that's what I did. Ain't no diss to my ex-girlfriend, even though I really have no type of respect for her. But I would admit, man, I was in love. I was in love. I got attached, and you know, I live in a city in the Raleigh-Durham area, and she was the only thing that I had, But I was in love. I'm not gonna, I can't completely trash her. I was in love. I was in love with her, man. But it wasn't just, the race and her not agreeing with my views and everything. It was other things like her being a drug addict and talking to people she used to sleep with and just being a disrespectful bitch. But I'm not gonna blame white women for my ex's behavior. I know it's good white women. I'm just saying it's just not for me. I had a bad experience, but I see that it's just not for me, and I cannot do it. I want to be an example to my people, my black conscious brothers, and I want a black woman who can relate. I would say I usually like my type of women I like is usually Hispanic women, black women, African women, my mixed sisters. Those are women I really go for, like African women, Black American women, mixed women, Hispanic women. I'm not against, and I just feel like Hispanic and black women, or shout out to my Afro Latinas too. I love y'all. Anyway, but I just feel like even though they might come from different cultures or even a different race, they understand and have a little more compassion, a little more respect for the black man's struggle. A white woman just completely doesn't. And a lot of these white women are just trying to control you when you get with them and make you forget who you are. But it does create problems, and it is conflicting. If you are a conscious black man and with a white girl, people don't expect to be a leader, don't expect for people to take you serious. Not to say people won't love you and won't listen to what you have to say, but they're not going to look at you as a leader. They're not going to take you as serious. Having a white woman, that's just with me. It's no diss or not a white woman. I just want someone to have a little understanding and a little more compassion for my struggle and what I and me and my people go through. Like, date a white woman, 95% of them don't have no type of concern for the struggle and plight for the black man. They don't. The struggle of the black man and exploitation and the black man it helps the success of the white man. That's one of the things I'm gonna leave in this video, that hey, what Malcolm X said, a black man's hell is a white man's heaven. A white man's heaven is a black man's hell. So I think I said all I wanted to say on this topic, man. I want to say peace to all my gods and goddesses and all righteous families of the earth. I want to appreciate y'all for checking out the second chamber. More videos to come. And I'm out. I love y'all guys.